It's the Sal and Rich Show. I'm your announcer, Artie Intel, and today's show is all PVI. Today's guest is Mr. Michael Chambers. Mike is president of Paul VI High School. Let's get the show going. Sal and Rich, take it away.
Rich, we're 71 years old and we get called to the principal's office. I mean, what the hell?
No, with the president's right?
office. It's even worse.
Yes.
We're sorry.
And you two guys are.
We were smoking out back and we didn't mean to do that. Oh, Lord. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Thanks for being with us. This is something we've been wanting to do for a while, so we've got a bunch of questions, and I know folks in our class and other classes are going to be interested in hearing about your background and how you got the job and all that. So let's start with you went to my alma mater. You went to Rutgers.
I did.
What year were you there?
So it was 98.
98, okay. And you were in New
Yeah.
Brunswick or in Camden?
I was in Camden.
Me
I
too.
commuted.
Me too. I commuted, took the speed line every day.
Scarlet Raptors.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's funny. And then let's go with your what you did at Paul VI. You started working there in '99. I think you said you were teaching English.
I did. I graduated Rutgers, and I started here in September teaching English. I was a member of the English department.
And how'd you get the job?
So I graduated from Paul VI in 1994, and I stayed close with the administration, and I was friends with Father Rock, who's now Monsignor Rock. And when I was in my last semester at college, he and I were out to dinner, and he said, make sure you don't sign a contract with any other school besides Paul VI. And I knew I was finishing in May, and in April of that year, I signed my contract and began teaching here in September of 99.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. I know you got a bunch.
I'll tell you
of
what,
questions.
I was so impressed with Paul VI 2 years ago when we were putting together our 50th reunion. And I went in there to get some information from Gabrielle McCluskey. And I'm sitting in the lobby, and all these kids are coming in, all these students are coming in there in the middle of July, happy. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on here? Why are these kids so happy to be coming to school in July? And I was like amazed with it. And Sal and I were lucky enough to go on a tour of the school in the following year, I guess it was, last year,
Yep,
2 years.
last year.
Well, it's amazing how well that school looks.
Yeah.
It does not look like it's 53, 54 years old, whatever. You guys have done a fabulous job with it. It's amazing. And then the technology room, and I wish everybody could take a look at the school. It's changed
It
so
really is
much.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I will
Really.
tell you, you can go on to our website and go through the virtual tour. And the virtual tour gives you a flyover of the school. So you see the different aesthetic changes that we've made to the building. And then the virtual tour will bring you through all those hot spots, the dance studio, the broadcast room,
Yeah.
the auditorium, the gymnasium, the fields, for you to get an up close view without coming here, just to see all the changes and improvements that we've made over the years.
That's great. Now, I think Rich or Gabrielle mentioned this. Do you have quite a few folks that come from Philadelphia to go to school at Paul VI?
Yeah, so we've seen an uptick in the last 2 years. The Board of Trustees, we would always talk about Philadelphia, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't see these kids coming over the bridge to come to Paul VI High School. And 2 years ago at our open house, we saw an uptick of PA students, mainly from South Philadelphia, St. Monica's Parish and Padre Pio Parish. And both of those schools now are sending students to Paul VI. Last year, we had 26, and this year we have another 23, which is fantastic. We actually run a bus. We run a bus to South Philadelphia. It has 6 stops, picks up the students from South Philadelphia, brings them over to Paul VI, and at the end of the school day, brings them back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have
And,
never.
and how many students? How many students do you have?
1110.
In school.
So we'll open September with 1110.
Wow.
1110 students.
Jeez. That's incredible.
And I saw in the Catholic Star Herald the the amount of students graduating from each high school in the diocese. Paul VI just took over that #1 lead.
We're the biggest school in the diocese, maybe the 5th or 6th biggest Catholic school in the state of New Jersey. We graduated 241 in June. We're going to take in 290 in September as freshmen. Our classes are approaching 300, if not already there. But we're the biggest school in the Diocese of Camden by far.
It's
Beat
amazing.
Camden
And
Catholic.
You always have to.
That's
You
right.
always have to.
It just never goes away.
you don't see any green on us.
No.
Absolutely. We actually forbid it here at the high school.
Oh, that's great. So Mike, you were you an athlete when you went to Paul Six?
So I played baseball for the 4 years I was at Paul Six. But I was also on student council while I was here. So I attended St. Francis Elementary School in Barrington. And then
That's where I went.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I grew up right on the border of Belmar and Barrington on Cedar Avenue in Belmar.
Wow.
Okay, know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And I transitioned to Paul Six, and I got involved in student government. And my freshman year, I was the freshman class president. And then at the end of the freshman year, you run for sophomore office. And I lost the executive. I ran for executive secretary. I lost. But then I ran for president of the sophomore class, and I won that. At the end of the sophomore year, I ran for executive vice president. I lost. And I ran for class president junior year, and I won that. And then at the end of my junior year, I ran for executive president of the high school, and I won that.
All right.
And ironically, now fast forward 27 years, and I'm the president of the school again.
Oh, I love it. That's a great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So
is.
from baseball athlete to in 2000, you became the athletic director. And how did
I
that
did.
come about? How did that happen?
So at the time, there was a transition in the athletic department, and I was just blue, if you would, fresh out of college, and I threw my hat in the ring. And at the time, the principal was Father Rock, and he said, if you're going to take this position, you have to go back and get a master's in English or education. And I went back and I went to Seton Hall, and I got a master's in education. I'm sorry, a master's in English. And I got the job as assistant principal for athletics, and I did that for 3 years.
Wow. And how
Yeah.
successful was the football team during those 3 years?
They were still on the downslope. Yeah, it was still on the downslope. It wasn't until probably maybe 06, 07 that the football team made a comeback and they've been playing pretty well.
Good.
Yeah, a couple conference championships in the last few years too, so it's nice.
Yeah. When we were there, we had to go. Our football games were over at Haddon Township, so we didn't have a football field.
Right.
That's how long ago it was.
So did you have to
Yeah.
truck all your equipment and things over to Haddon Township?
Yep. And
Yeah.
I was in the marching band, so everything, all the equipment and all the instruments, everything. We were the whole 9 yards. So yeah, we often would talk amongst ourselves. God, when's the school going to get a football stadium? But
Yeah.
thank God you have one now.
Yes, we do. I would say they got it in the mid 80s, maybe like 84,
okay.
85.
Yeah.
And then since then, we put the turf in and we put lights and things like that. It's electric here on a Friday night. You should try to get here if you can.
I bet. I can't even imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool. Maybe one of these days we'll come up in the fall, and we can, Rich
There you
and
go.
Jan and I and Patty, we can go to a game. That would be fun.
Invitation's
then-
always there, fellas.
So you came assistant principal in 2003, and how long were you assistant principal?
Till 2011.
Okay, and then you became president.
Yeah. And in 2002 is when we transitioned to the president principal model. Father Robert Hughes was the president at the time. He was the initial president. And then he took a different position at the diocese. And Dave Coughlin, who was the superintendent of schools for years, took over as president. And then Dave suddenly passed away his second year as president of Paul Six.
Oh, geez.
And then Bob Hughes came back in 05 and was president until 11. And then I was appointed by Bishop Joseph Galante as president in August of 2011.
Okay.
Bob Hughes went to Paul Six also, right?
Yeah, class 81. Yeah,
Class of 81. Okay.
he
That's what I
taught here.
thought.
He was religion department chair. He was the president. He's now on the board of trustees. Yeah, he's still involved and engaged in PVI.
Great. Great.
So, Mike, how would you describe the culture of the school today?
So the school spirit, in my opinion, is at an all-time high. It's probably the way that it was when we were just starting out. There's ebbs and flows on occasion, but the school spirit's electric. These students, all 1,100 of them, have such great pride in Paul Six. You see it. We're wearing PVI gear now. They wear it everywhere they go. The school spirit is at an all-time high. The building looks fantastic. As Rich said,
Oh, it's
in 2
amazing.
years, we're going to be celebrating our 60th anniversary as a high school. And when you
Wow.
walk into this building, it looks the same from the outside, but inside it's clean. Aesthetically, it's beautiful as you pull onto the property. And rooms that were double rooms and labs are now classrooms, a dance studio, a broadcast room, a robotics room. We constantly change with the educational curves and the technological curves, but we never lose sight of who we really are and how we were founded, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm lucky enough to live here in the area, close to Paul Six, and I know a few students who went there, nieces and nephews included, and they love the place. I mean, they were crazy about it, and we have kids on the street go to Paul Six, and they're so proud of it. Which I think that whole thing has changed since when Sal and I went there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's just amazing how great it is right now. You're doing
It
a great
is.
job.
I appreciate that. I'm part of a team, right? So I get a lot of credit, fellas, because of the position that I have. But I am one cog in the wheel, and I have a lot of staff and support that are in the same rotation that I am. So as that wheel moves, there's no noise. We're
yeah,
moving in a direction that we're all fighting for, living the mission of Paul Six, and
yeah.
that's key to our success. To be honest with you.
So, how did your school handle COVID?
So we had at the time, Sister Mary Ann McCann was the principal, and we didn't miss a beat. She honestly is the most forward-thinking individual I've ever encountered in my life. If something was happening today, she's 3 weeks down the road. So she saw it coming. We went into closed mode on March 13th, and we were teaching remotely on March 17th of 2020.
Wow.
Man,
And we didn't miss a beat. We modified our schedule where you weren't meeting every day for 40 minutes,
yeah,
but certain classes would meet on Mondays, certain classes Tuesdays, certain classes Wednesdays. So it was a truncated educational process from March to June. But we opened in September with the proper protocols, keeping students 6 feet apart, wearing masks. We didn't miss a beat educationally that entire 20 to 21 school year. In fact, our enrollment grew, and it was shocking because there were a lot of students who came from public school because those public schools were closed at the time, and it was all remote learning. But these families didn't want remote learning. They wanted their kids involved and engaged in education the way that it was traditionally done. So we saw an influx of students, and I thought, well, okay, when public schools open, these students may go back. They didn't. They finished in that class. Your niece was in the class, Rich, with my son. They started here in that COVID year of 2020 of September, and they graduated from here. And that class was almost 300. It's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
did you provide any means for the students to get vaccinations? Did you have people coming to do that or not?
We did. We had pop-up vaccinations. We worked with Rowan University and Rowan School of Medicine, as well as Camden County Board of Health. And we had pop-up clinics here at the high school where families in the area, parents, students, siblings could come in and be vaccinated.
That's
Yes.
great. So that helped a lot.
It did. It did.
Amazing.
It kept us going at a time where you could have seen dire straits. We had families. We have families who pay their tuition in full in July, and that year we saw they wanted to wait. They wanted to see, what was your reopening plan? What was your restructuring plan? And when they found out that, hey, Paul Six is open and these are the protocols that are in place, it worked.
Yeah.
Thank God for technology, though, because parents weren't allowed at sporting events, whether they were inside or outside.
Yeah.
You had to stream them. We weren't allowed to have spectators and so forth. So there were a lot of crazy protocols in place, but we managed our way through it. And I have to tell you, Mary Ann McCann was instrumental in keeping us open, forward thinking, and making sure that these students returned in a safe environment.
Yeah. That was a stressful
Yeah.
time. And I can imagine for
Yeah.
the teachers too, it was stressful. There was so much
I
unknown.
understand. I understand she made sure everybody had computers ahead of time or iPads, whatever you guys were using.
Yeah, we were She was a pioneer. I kid you not. So back when I was assistant principal for student life, I oversaw the athletic department, but I also oversaw technology. And she was the one who started our one-to-one program, where every student purchased a laptop at the time. It was probably 2005, 6. Every student's family had to purchase a laptop, and the laptop was programmed here at Paul VI and then presented to the student. And they used it educationally in the classroom. Then that laptop was $2,000 at that time above tuition.
Wow.
Then the iPad came out, and the iPad was $400. So we transitioned away from the tablet and moved to the iPad, and we've had the iPad ever since. Students still do it.
Yeah.
All their books are on the iPad, all their classwork's on the iPad, everything's stored in the cloud. So there's no more, the dog ate my homework, right? Or I left my homework at home. It's there, you know? And the great thing is, if the iPad breaks, mom runs it over with the car. We give it with Apple Care, you get a new one. You
Right.
put in your Apple ID, you lose nothing. All your work is there.
It's all in the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like us, Rich, when we're walking down the hall with like 6 books, you know,
Yep. You had lockers.
Yes, with the lockers.
lockers.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
lockers.
Yeah.
Our lockers we have lockers still, but there's about that much dust on them in June, so we clean them out once a year.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to ask you this question, Mike. You know, every day you watch TV and you hear, you know, these stories about what crazy incidents that happen at school, shootings, whatever. What do you guys do to prepare for that kind of thing, you know, being careful that it doesn't ever happen in your school?
So you don't want to be naive, right, and think, oh, well, it's never going to happen here.
Right.
So there are protocols that are in place. The state of New Jersey offers security funding per student. So we do invest, and that's always about $200,000 a year, believe it or not, at Paul VI. And we invest that into the security that we have. We have 61 cameras here at the school. So there's not an area that's not supervised. In the control room, there's a big monitor with all 60 cameras on there. The administration has access to the cameras. During the school day, our students enter in 2 doors only, and there's adult supervision at both of those doors. Once 8 o'clock hits, all the doors to the building are locked, and all visitors have to come through the front of the building. Good. Like when you guys came to visit, you got buzzed into the vestibule.
Right.
Now you're trapped in the vestibule, right? You can't get into the school until the person you're there to meet comes down to get you.
Yeah. That's a great move.
We also have a full-time unarmed security guard here in the building during the day. And that security guard walks the perimeter, makes sure doors aren't propped open, make sure everything's locked and secured, and make sure there's no nefarious activity going on at the school.
Yeah. That's
great. That's great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you have to do that, but you're doing. It sounds like you got it under control.
The protocols are in place, and thank you to mitigate any disaster, you know, or death. But ultimately, you have to be prepared. If not, you're already behind the 8 ball. But we're prepared.
Yeah. So cameras everywhere. Rich, if we were making out with some beautiful young girl, it'd be caught on camera.
Believe me, that never happened.
Never happened to me either.
Never happened. It wasn't one of those guys.
Nah, me either.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Mike. We took a tour, like I said, 2 years ago when Gabrielle McCluskey was nice enough to do that. And as we were walking through the school, we went, "Oh, here's the smoking lounge." I thought she was going to keel over. Smoking lounge? I said, "Yeah, everybody used to stand out here and smoke."
Yeah.
And she was shocked. And then we walked into the gymnasium. I said, what a great time this was.
Yeah.
We used to have the Saturday night dance
Yeah.
with High Lit and Dr. Don. And used to be sawdust over the entire floor. And she looked at me like I was crazy. You old senile guy.
You don't do
I've
those
heard
dances.
about those dances. We don't do
them
those anymore.
Yeah.
No, but I've heard about them. They're legendary around here.
Yeah.
Oh, they were the line of people, 1,000 people lined up to go into that floor. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I talked to quite a few people from 71, 70, whatever, and they're all telling me, don't you wish you could have that dance one more time at Paul VI? I
Memories.
said, I do. I said, but the gymnasium looks a hell of a lot smaller than it did 50 years ago. I'm not sure how they fit everybody in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, it was a good time. It was a great time.
Maybe we have to look to see what we can do to try to rejuvenate that one time
Yeah.
over a weekend that's centered around the 50th reunions And you can get classes from 70, 71, 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
to come over
69,
now.
70, yeah.
Yeah, and you can get a Bob Kelly to come
Yeah.
in and commandeer
Bob
the.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
We know Bruno, so we can get Bob Kelly.
everybody knows Bruno. Yeah,
Exactly. Everybody knows Bruno. In fact, we were down
Bruno
at
is
his shop
aces.
in Wildwood a couple of days ago visiting. So, but that might be a good idea for the 60th anniversary. It's not that far away,
It's not that far away, fellas.
and you've got time to
Wait, how
plan.
many years is it? How far away is it?
So in September of 26, that'll be the opening of the 60th anniversary.
Wow.
We should be alive. We should still be alive.
Still be around.
Be able to walk. Yes.
Do some line dances very slowly.
Hey, you know what? I'll gladly help you with the class of 70. I run the 71. I run the Facebook page, so I'm sure we could get people to go to it.
Yeah.
Hey,
$10 a head.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know how much that'd be a huge moneymaker for PBI.
Yeah.
And it gets the classes of 69 to 75 re-involved in the building, into the building.
Yeah.
That's always key too.
Yeah. That's a great
And
idea.
it's,
Sal and Rich
you
Show
know
will
what?
sponsor it.
Sal, Rich, Bruno, and Mike Kelly.
And Mike Kelly.
Bob Kelly. Bob Kelly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Bob Kelly. Yeah. Right. Oh gosh.
It's a great idea.
That's funny. All right, we're going to hold you to that. We'll work with you if you want to do that. We'd be happy to help in any possible way we can because I think that's a great idea. That'd be fun.
Not a bad idea, fellas.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Mike. I don't want to take any more of your time. It's been great.
Well, question. Any plans for
Yeah.
this year coming up at the school? Any changes?
Sure. So the Office of Institutional Advancement and Admissions and Gabrielle McCluskey and I are working on creating the Next Door magazine. So that's going to go out in November. So be on the lookout for that.
Yep.
You'll see that highlighted in there is our annual giving is off the charts. We've reached a new benchmark. We cleared 200,000 in unrestricted gifts and another 210,000 in restricted gifts just on the annual giving campaign, not counting our other three fundraisers. All of our fundraising together is almost $700,000. It's incredible the support we get from the alum. And you'll see in that honor roll of donors, fellas, the class of 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, who all celebrated 50-year reunions. The number of gifts and the amounts that are given have exceeded our expectations.
That's awesome.
There was a member of the class of 72 who came to us and said, I want to do a matching gift for the 50th anniversary classes. Up to $5,000, I'll match dollar to dollar. Wow. And he started with the class of 70. And he went through 71, 2, 3, and 4. And each year, those classes responded in excess of 5,000. And he matched 5,000. It's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he and his wife want to continue that for each of the 50 years. So we're going to see what happens for the class of 75. They're in the process of planning their reunion. Donna Brown DiGiacomo. I don't know if you know Donna.
No.
I've heard the name. Yeah, heard the
So
name.
Donna is planning the 50th anniversary for the class of 75, and information's on our website for that. And then Kevin Gallagher is planning the class of 76. He just retired for almost 50 years teaching here at Paul VI. Kevin did.
Wow.
So he's planning his 50th reunion.
That's cool.
You guys were really instrumental in helping us with the last Paul VI Hall of Fame.
Oh, that was
Getting
fun.
Mike Bush involved and nominated. Put on your radar for me, fellas, if I can make an ask.
Sure.
October of 2027 will be the next Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So nominations are going to open now in October of 25. So if you know of anyone from your era who you think deserves recognition, please have them come out of the woodwork and make the nominations, because that committee will start meeting, looking at who's been nominated.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was approached at the last Hall of Fame dinner about it. Somebody
okay.
from our class wants to do something. And I said, we'll see what we can do about it.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you what,
absolutely.
Mike, I think you should run for governor of the state.
I don't need that, man.
You're doing a fabulous job.
Mike for president of the United States.
Yes.
I'm going to stop here, fellas, at president of PBI.
They've had enough, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to stay into politics. That's a whole different game. That's for sure.
Darn tootin'.
Well, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Mike.
you
This
so
has been
much.
Great. It's been great having you on the show, and we love having folks from PVI on our show, and having the president. It's just icing on the cake.
It was my
And,
honor, Rich and Sal.
and you've got a great team of people running that school
Yeah.
right now. It's amazing.
Yeah,
That's the key to our success.
yeah, you can
Absolutely.
see it.
Teamwork. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Take it easy.
Next time.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Take care, fellas. PVI
See you
proud.
later.
PVI proud.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.